Did you celebrate in isolation, given that you were the minority Hindu community in Kashmir, or did you celebrate openly with your Muslim neighbors?
We celebrated in isolation in two senses. We did it within the family. And the priest would come, and then they would perform the puja or havan or whatever it is. And then that was it. So there were very few festivals that I can recall as a child which Hindus celebrated as a community.
How is your relationship with the Muslim majority?
I do not recall any problem. I had friends, Hindus and Muslims, and Christians for that matter, in college. Also while I was growing up in grade school and high school. But the more emotional, stronger ties were with my Muslim friends in the village where I was born.
So you had a very good relationship. You didn't determine your relationships and friendships based on their religion. It was an open society.
Yes, I think you are absolutely right about that.
When you left Kashmir, that changed over time. Did the change over time, the relationship between the Hindus and Muslims, did that impact your family?
I applied for an engineering admission to an engineering school, to a couple of schools, and I got an offer from a very good school in Pune, Maharashtra. And I went, so I decided that that's what I would do. And I went to Kulgam to see my grandparents to bid them farewell, that I was leaving the state for the first time for higher education. And it took a couple of days. By the time I came back, there was a telegram which told me that my admission had been cancelled. And so I went and contacted the government of Kashmir and found out that they had been trying for a while to prevent lots of schools, engineering and medical schools all over the country outside India. India did not have an engineering school or a medical school at that point. And they got my admission cancelled on the basis that this guy is a Hindu. And we want you to accept 2 candidates from Kashmir, and these must be the people that we recommend, the government of Kashmir recommends. So merit admission did not matter.
So your acceptance afterwards was canceled.
Right.
Intervention from the state of
State
Kashmir
of
government?
Right. It was cancelled. I took 2 decisions right away. I did not want to waste and wait a year, seek admission to engineering school. Later on, I decided to go to Delhi University and pursue my postgraduate master's program. The other decision I took, I would never come back to Kashmir to work or to settle down. And what has happened in Kashmir has proved that I took the right decision. It would have been the wrong decision for me to go back and go through this where merit did not matter. And later I found out, I worked outside. After I got my master's degree, I went and worked in Manipur. But I used to come back in summer vacations and talk to people. What had happened is they had persuaded lots of medical schools and engineering schools over the country that they must accept the nominations made by the state government. So things changed 1950s. 54, 53, 54, 1953 there was this problem with Sheikh Abdullah, who was the so-called Prime Minister of Kashmir at that time. And 1948, within 5 years, things started going bad for the minority community, that is Hindus.